Anybody here having something you need to forgive? This is the time with your 2020 vision of clarity to do that. I'm going to share this story with you. My mother and I had a complicated relationship. It wasn't until I became the famous Oprah Winfrey that I felt that she was even interested in seeing me. And I tried to do the thing that was the honorable thing. I used the Bible as my guide. Honor thy father and thy mother, that your days will be long above the land with the Lord thy God giveth thee. So in many times when I was like questioning, what do I do, I would just go back to honor thy father and thy mother. So when I first started to make money, first thing I did was retire my mother, retire my father. My father refused to be retired, even though he took the money. You go to Nashville right now, he's in the barbershop. I would let him cut my hair, but I wouldn't let him shave me if I were you. So he still wanted to continue working. My mother passed last year, November 2018. And I wanted to get it right. The interesting thing happened is I had a sister who showed up in our lives in 2010. That my mother had given up for adoption and none of us knew that it had happened, but she came and found our family, and her name was Pat, is Pat. I had another sister named Pat who passed. And my sister Pat, the newly found sister, called me and said, you better get here quick because she just hugged me. And it was a real hug. So I think something's about to happen. She says it was such a hug that the nurse said, I'm praying for you. Because my mother had denied this sister who had come back. My mother had said, I didn't have a daughter, and then we were able to do a DNA test with one of my nieces and found out, yes, she indeed was her daughter, my sister. And as life would have it, that sister, that child that she'd given up, ended up being the one with her, taking care of her. So my sister called and said, you need to get here. It just so happened to be the same night I was interviewing Michelle Obama in Chicago for the beginning of the Becoming Tour. So I flew to Milwaukee first to arrange all the palliative care, to try to help get things organized, and then drove back to Chicago, interviewed Michelle, drove back to Milwaukee. We all knew that the end was coming. And inside my spirit, I knew I needed to have the conversation that I'm telling you to have with yourself and your loved ones. And I, Oprah Winfrey, who have talked, interview 101, over 37,000 people, I could not find the words for my own mother. I am reading the hospice care manual, where it says, talk about times where you learned things were shared, memories. I could not think of one happy time. And I sat and I prayed with that. And then I left, knowing that that was going to be one of the final times I saw her. And I was upset with myself. I had a speaking engagement in Boston. I said, I'm gonna go now. She said, all right, see ya. I stand in the door, I go, okay, bye. I went to the speaking engagement, and when I finished, that voice inside me that lives inside you, that we all have, said, what a hypocrite. What a hypocrite you are. If this was anybody else, you would have said, close that thing. Close that door. Finish it. Say what needs to be said. Do the forgiving. You've never said, I love you in your entire life to your mother. Go back and say it. I got on the plane. I flew back to Milwaukee. Now this is my third time in a week. I walk into the room and she's sitting there watching Steve Harvey on a loop in the hottest room I've ever sat in. Literally, I looked at the thermometer, it's 87 degrees in that room. And I still didn't know what to say. I sat, I watched Steve Harvey, I watched One Life to Live. I thought, is that still on? I did that thing. So I thought I'd just sit there and I'd just give her ice chips and water, and I still didn't have anything to say. I went to bed that night praying, God help me, because the hospice manual isn't doing it. And I woke up and accidentally hit my phone, and what shows up on the phone, I don't know how, is Mahalia Jackson singing Precious Lord. Take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weary, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light, precious Lord. Take my hand and lead me home. So I walked into that hot room where my mother was sitting, and I said, would you like to hear Mahalia Jackson? And she nodded her head because she was still very coherent. And then I had this idea to call a friend of mine, Wintley Phipps, who is a famous baritone gospel singer. And I said, Wintley, would you pray for my mother, my sister, and I? And would you sing Precious Lord? And he did from his kitchen table on a Saturday morning. He sang Precious Lord. And he said, I'm praying for peace for you and your mother. And I'm praying for no fear, just peace. And that was a way in. I could see as he was singing on FaceTime, I could see the tears begin to form. And it gave me an opening to say, how are you feeling about this transition? And what is it you are afraid of? And are there people you want to see on the other side? And she said, yes, I want to see my mother. And I said, I believe she'll be there when you're ready. And I am telling you, if you're ready, we're ready. And I just want to say to you that in all of these years, you were not the mother I thought I needed, but I see now God gave me exactly what I needed to be me. And I want to say to you that I know when you were 16, 17 years old and you became pregnant after one time with my father, there were many people who would have told you, don't have that baby. Abort that baby. Give that baby away. But you didn't. You didn't do that. And for that, I thank you. I thank you for being the mother that you knew how to be, even though many times it wasn't what I thought I needed. And I want you to know I bless you and I give you peace, and I want you to go in peace and to know, well done. Well done. And I love you. First and only time I've said it. First and only time I've said it. But it freed me. It freed me. I have no regrets. I have no lingering of what I woulda, coulda, shoulda done, because I did all the things. I bought the houses, I bought the cars, I gave her the stuff. I did the thing that I thought a daughter was supposed to do, but I had no peace. And so what I want for you when you leave here today, whatever is holding you back from your peace, make the peace. Make the peace. Because it is only through the peace that you get freed to move on to the life that you were meant to live. And we all, there's no wellness without peace. We all long to be well and to find balance. We all are looking for what that thing is that's more for us. And I'm here to tell you that everybody in this room has had some things happen to them that would make you want to fall out. I know that whatever has happened to you has also happened for you. And that nothing that has happened to you is ever going to be wasted. I wouldn't take nothing from my journey now. Wouldn't take nothing from it. I wouldn't be who I am if I wasn't born where I was born, under the circumstances under which I was born, and all the things that I wished I'd had. I now am in a position to offer those things, material, spiritual, emotional, to other people, and the same is true for everybody in this room. Every time somebody let you down, you were building strength. Every time you thought you lost your way or you lost control, you were building strength. Every time the doctor said, yes, I'm afraid it is cancer, you were building strength. And strength times strength times strength times strength equals power. So look at how powerful you really are. Universal energy, the forces of life, all that is God by all the names we call God throughout the universe, is ready to move you in a new direction. And all you've got to do is decide if you are going to go along with that new direction. That is the flow of your life. Mary Oliver said it, tell me what you plan to do with your one wild, precious life. What do you intend to do? The fact that you are here means that you're ready. You're ready. So when you leave here today, claim it. Claim that for yourself. Claim the life that you deserve. Stop wasting time. It's a finite thing. Don't waste another minute. Define what it is you want. Get clear about what that is, and then get about the business of having every step you take move you in the direction of that manifestation for yourself. That's a key word for me. Are you ready to activate your vision? Then say it loud. Are you ready to claim your power? Here we go.